Good morning and welcome to this week's edition of Tourismus Namibia. Once again, we bring you a couple of topics, and we've got a very interesting contribution as far as destinations is concerned today. And then obviously finally we've got to the point, and even there I think I'm bringing you something different to what we normally have. So welcome, my name is Frank Steffen. I'm the editor of Allgemeine Zeitung and then obviously responsible for Tourismus Namibia. And but yeah, let's first have a look at the topics.
I'm gonna cross that river, Jordan. Yes, I am. I'm gonna leave my heart wide open. Yes, I am. Let me tell you, baby, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh, baby, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yeah, baby, yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yeah, welcome back. So first up our topics, and the one that I thought was quite important is one of our journalists went out to Cape Cross this week, and it's basically the government has been aided by the German government through the GIZ obviously, and so they've looked at the new infrastructure, or not new, it's actually improved infrastructure at Cape Cross, and then Oegapmund, Springbok Water, Merwe Bay, Sesriem and Gobabeb. So this is good news. You will remember that recently the state had announced that they'd invest something like 100 million in order to change the coastal towns into the tourism hub of Namibia. So these are obviously the first steps to be taken. Right up front here in the photo, you see Ambassador Herbert Beck. He's the German ambassador. And then next to him is obviously our Minister for Environment, Forestry and Tourism, Pohamba Shifeta. And I'm not quite sure who's the third person now quickly, but I'll ask him next time I see him. Anyway, so Erwin Leuschner contributed a little video clip for us because Ambassador Beck also spoke about the imposed travel restrictions to Europe.
At the same time. Allow me a general remark at the beginning. We are all facing testing times, global challenges and new uncertainties which affect all areas of our lives and livelihoods, as well as biodiversity and ecosystems all over the world. Climate change and the COVID-19 pandemic are two of the ongoing crises which are yet to be handled successfully. Together we have to adapt and address present and upcoming challenges in a flexible and pragmatic manner to protect biodiversity and secure livelihoods. The pandemic shows very clearly how vulnerable and interdependent we are. And it also shows that some of the crises are going to stay with us for the foreseeable future, while some developments are beyond our control. The situation will remain fragile and nobody really knows what awaits us around the corner. Nevertheless, we do have the responsibility to take all necessary measures to prevent another COVID wave and to reduce the transmission of the virus as much as possible. The classification of Namibia, South Africa and other countries in Southern Africa by member states of the European Union and by other countries, including those in the Global South, was understandably perceived as a hard blow by affected countries, especially for the tourism industry, which has already been hard hit since the beginning of the pandemic. These decisions are difficult to digest. Nevertheless, experience teaches us that quick action is the right thing to do in view of highly dynamic nature of pandemics. As we can see in South Africa, for example, the numbers of COVID cases are increasing dramatically at this moment. So what to do? 2 points seem important to me. The designation now made for Namibia as a virus variant area must be maintained only as long as it makes epidemiological sense. Beyond that, we must continue to back Namibia in addressing the health crisis. And I also call on all Namibians to look into the vaccine issue. In general, and regardless of the current pandemic, it is equally obvious that it is necessary to reduce dependency and increase resilience. One way going forward with this is to look for opportunities for diversification of sources of income and livelihoods. Stabilization, adaptation, and building resilience will be key for the next month and years to come, to ensure that each and everyone will be able to enjoy a decent living and increase well-being. I'm delighted that Germany has a long-standing partnership with the Republic of Namibia in many areas.
Yeah, quite nice to know that we're getting on with it, and hopefully, I personally do not agree to harsh measures that they've introduced. I said so last week already, and you still cannot convince me, because at the end of the day, our 7-day incidence level is still very low, and to always shut down the whole world simply because you've got the virus, I would have thought by now that we've learned to improve our systems a little. And I'm not downplaying the virus, I'm just downplaying the way in which we react to it. But talking of the coasts at Swakopmund, there's also a new portion of the walkway that has been finished. This is around 1.6 kilometer a stretch leading to the shopping center Plaza Meer, towards the north or in the northern part of Swakopmund along the beach. The walkway along the beach of Swakopmund measures a total of 8 kilometers already, and it now literally leads from the aquarium near the mouth of the Swakop River to Plaza Meer. So that is quite a substantial walkway, and apparently bicycles are also allowed to use those walkways. I think that's very nice, especially with the holiday coming up, so people can take long walks, jogs, whatever they want early in the morning or in the evening, or simply enjoy the day by walking along the beach. Right, and then our third topic that I looked up is our veld fires. It's a serious issue now near Windhoek. You can have a look at the photos there. Tanya Bowser actually drove out and had a look herself, and it's been all over the internet media and so on, the electronic media that is. And she warns in her article in the Republican that there's a large number of cattle running along the district roads northeast of Windhoek, simply because the farmers had to cut their fences. Now this is that stretch that goes up to Steinhausen, past Omitara and so on. So this is quite huge, and although it's not exactly known how many farms were affected by the fires, she estimates it to be 60 when she spoke to the people there. So the veld fires that started last Tuesday already, according to social media, at the Osona military base. That's where they said it started, near Okahandja. And but now the army is suddenly denying that, saying no, we don't really know. Which I think is a shame. Own up at least if you cause that amount of damage. Anyway, so it's been burning since then, coming over from Osona military base towards Okahandja, and then along the D1435 from CIS and M35 at the Onyala Lodge. So this is a huge portion of land that has just been burnt off again. So sad, but somehow this year we don't seem to get our fires under control. Those were our topics today. Up next, we've got destinations. Right, some of you will remember that in the beginning of the year we did a live broadcast from Midgard Lodge, and it was all done because at the time we held that concert Stars Under African Skies, and this is being held again Now, this is Fly and Help, an organization that basically builds schools, and they've decided to once again bring three main stars, being Irene Shear and Tim Toupé and Patrick Lindner. Those are German artists, obviously, except that Irene Shear is also English, but she's mainly known in Germany. But nevertheless, this is going to happen again on the 22nd January, but obviously 1 year later, 2022. It's the same story again, so if you want to take part in that, it will be there. You need to start looking at the contact addresses. This appears regularly in the AZ, who supports this effort. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is Fly and Help has obviously been building schools all over the world. So if you Google Fly and Help, you'll quickly get to see that. Now, the interesting part is because of that, Fly and Help, because of me knowing that Fly and Help has built up many schools in Namibia, I basically organized a trip to the north. So what happened was Claudia Reiter and Katharina Moser of the AZ actually traveled to the north. And if you look at the maps now, you will see that that we basically went from Windhoek right up to Ruacana, not we, that is Claudia and Katharina Moser, who's the intern of the AZ. Then I basically, they passed Otjiwarongo, made a quick stop at the crocodile farm, and they went up past the Gaup guest farm, which is closer to Tsumeb, and then past the Oshikoto Lake, and then through Ovamboland up to Ruacana, passing the Olushandia Dam. So if you look at the next map, because from there they basically followed the flow of the Kunene right up to Epupa Falls. Now, there is a different way in which you can do it. You can also take the road via Puva, which would go straight down, or you can veer off near Swartboys Drift and first go to Oromana and then go back up. So it's really up to you how you drive these trips. They followed the river straight up, right up to Epupa Falls. And from Epupa Falls, they took their journey down to Hobatere Lodge, which is the next map if you have a look here. It's basically from Epupa going past Okongwati and then through Upuvu right down to Hobatere, which is basically on the western side of Etosha Pan, or Etosha National Park, that is. So anyway, Claudia compiled a very nice video for us, basically taking you along that whole journey. So just have a look.
So, we opened the farm here in 1985. We have started with 45 crocodile, but now we got a 42.
Okay.
They have got a 42. But the crocodile here, you cannot sell a live crocodile, nothing. Just you sell skin and meat. That's all you can, all you can skin it. The skin is the money for the farm. You kill the crocodile, the young crocodile from 3 to 5 years. You kill it. You reduce the skin, you sell the skin for doing handbags and shoes, also meat to eat on for the young one. Okay. The big one, only for eggs. But after 6-7 years, you cannot make something. The skin is too tough. The young one, there's a very soft for meat and skin. There are 2 layers, but it's very soft. Very, very soft.
So how would they get out?
Yeah, here. They come here out.
Okay.
The crocodile come here out is bigger, 20 centimeter.
20 centimeter.
20 centimeter, but we stand in the eggs. The eggs is too small. We stand in the eggs, we stand like this.
Oh, they're rolled up.
They are rolled up,
okay,
and then come they out.
All right, I
good.
see.
That's
okay.
crocodile.
How long do they stay in the eggs?
Yes, crocodile stay like this. 3 months. 3 months here in the stomach.
Okay.
3 months in the hatchery.
All right.
But the crocodile eggs here. We lay eggs here, and then we take the eggs out here, we put them in a hatchery. Yeah, very good.
Very nice, yes.
Yeah, very nice.
Very good.
Now, the temperature here is no good.
Okay.
The temperature is raw.
But they burrow them, don't they?
Yeah, we bury them.
Yeah.
We bury them.
All right.
We come there, we dig a hole, like this. So, and then we put them on, we closing, and then people that are working here, I mean guys, people are working together with me, they go inside, they take the eggs out, put them on the hatchery.
I see.
Yeah, but the eggs is too much. 60 to 70 eggs for one
Per
crocodile.
female.
We lay eggs once a year. Take the eggs, put them in a hatchery, but you put them in a hatchery, you can change the sex, you know.
Oh, it's a temperature, right?
Yeah, temperature.
Correct, I've heard
you
that,
can
yeah.
change, You can change the temperature. Maybe you want male, you want female,
Okay.
you can change the temperature.
All right.
So you want male or you want female, they are 27 degree, 27 degree, this comes the female.
Okay.
31, 32, you need the male.
So how many crocodiles do you have in here?
Here I've got it 38 female, 4 male,
Okay.
42 inside.
All right. And then on the other side, you also have more
Yeah,
crocodiles,
they're
right?
the inside of crocodile.
Yeah.
They are outside. I've got 2,600 crocodiles from 1 year to 10 years. We are there.
Crazy. 2,000.
Every year need to hear newborn. 1,006, 1,007.
Crazy.
Newborn here. You can hold them. You can take a picture.
I can touch it?
Yeah, touch. You can hold them. You can take a picture. No problem. See, that's the bird.
Dancing on the ceiling, on the people, I got people on the dancing on the people, I got people.
Tell myself apart from you
Das ist ein Esel. Ich war ganz so, was ist das für ein Tier?
Okay, kann man gehen.
My name is Samuel. So this is a Pupa Falls viewpoint campsite. I think it will be the first campsite in a Pupa which is belong to the Himba people.
All right.
And we started slowly, like a viewpoint, and then we realized to change to be a camp where people also up to 8 people they can sleep here.
All right. Nice.
So yeah. Anyway, we are still going slowly.
Yeah.
So
it's just locals, just Himbas.
yeah, the one is Himba people. It's
All right.
Himba man,
Yeah.
it's traditional. I think you find the one we were together with.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Cool.
When did you start the camp?
So this is really long back. Started as a viewpoint, like we can say 2008, but it was just for the people to come and enjoy the sundown.
Okay.
And then to be officially campsite, I think 3 years back.
All right.
Yes,
Okay.
it's very new.
And then how much do you charge the people per night?
So we do charge 120 per person.
Okay,
We have
that's fine.
toilet and shower, 10,000 liters.
Nice.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
All right. Perfect.
The song that we are going to sing, it's all about the festive season. We are now first approaching the festive season, so we are like now inviting each and every one to go back to its destinations. As you can even see, the whole world is now over green. So it's the time for each and every one to get back to its parents' house.
All right, let's see. Cool.
Yeah, like I said, that is the trip that Claudia and Katarina told us about, and she actually wrote up a nice little report about it as well, so we'll be bringing it as a diary on our internet page in the coming week. So hope you enjoyed that part. As part of that story, we'll obviously also bring you a whole lot of photos pointing you to the various destinations you've got along the way, because this surely is not only one destination, it's a whole lot of them. Right, and that, so today we don't bring you all these many destinations, we basically bring you that trip, and up next is To the Point. Yeah, up next I've got a bit of a different story today. Obviously driving around Namibia trying to get new stories for you, new destinations, different types of angles. I said the other day that I'm busy finalizing a little video of a trip that I did by driving, instead of driving all these other roads up to the north, we literally chose to go to Gebabes, and from Gebabes we followed the roads along the eastern borders past Epukiro right up to Bushmanland, and that is the Karum National Park, and even beyond that going into Kaza. And so that I'll be bringing you shortly, but as part of that we actually spent a night at Harnas, and being part of Harnas, we actually also, then from Harnas, starting our trip, we went up to Epukiro, which you could see there. And by the way, if you look at the previous photo there, you could see that the Omaheke is not half as dry as people often make it out to be. But anyway, so the Nkuse is obviously known for its lodges, but they actually support this, what is called Epukiro POS 3. That's a clinic that they basically support out of their own pockets. They've got a couple of people supporting them from overseas. In the photo you see the manager, Hardis Swat, and he granted me an interview also. And the interesting part is obviously that Nkuse is not really known for what they do in their so-called Nkuse Foundation, because that's really where it is all about. They don't only protect animals, as we all know, but they literally do a whole lot for the San people especially, and also the Oshierero people at Epukiro, which is literally on the far side of our country. I'm talking most eastern point in Namibia. But have a look at the interview, because I spoke to Hade Swart. Right, we've just arrived in Epokiro. It's past 3, if I'm right.
Yes.
Okay, and in front of the camera you can see Hade Swart. Hade, tell us more about yourself, introduce yourself, and then we take it from there.
I am Hade Swart. I'm the manager here at the Lifeline Clinic. I'm working now here around about 2.5 years.
Okay.
I was previously at Nankuse as a farm manager.
That's Nankuse over at the airport on that side?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And then I moved here to Omowesuzonyanda, is the Herero name for Epokiro Post 3.
Post 3. And what is it exactly what you do at this clinic?
I'm doing the administrative part of the clinic, the finances, logistics, the maintenance, the cars, all those things. We get doctors from abroad. At the moment we have a doctor from the USA, Dr. Kim Craven. Prior to her we had Dr. Michelle Ting from Singapore, and we can go.
So it's volunteers all the way through, similar to what you find at Nankuse, and the same as you find at Hanas, and that's the whole principle that works.
Yeah, the only difference is that we have to appoint them as employees. They have to be registered with the Medical Board of Namibia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they are actually employees. They do the voluntary work, but they are employed.
And then how long do they stay at a time?
It depends, from 3 months to 6 months. We would like for them to stay longer, but...
Yeah, I know. We have, I'm of the Allgemeine Zeitung, and I'm fully aware of the fact that currently our laws don't allow them to stay much longer.
Yeah, yeah.
So that recycling, how is it organized? Do you sort of advertise and people then come and say, I would love to do it, or is there an organization that you are affiliated to?
Both. We do get, we have an agent in South Africa.
Okay.
That she does the advertising for us, and also we ourselves, with previous doctors, we put out an advertisement to ask if there's any interested doctors that would like to come for 3 to 6 months.
Okay, so in this clinic itself, what is it that you all offer to the local folk?
It's basic medicals. So they would come in. Most that we get is bruises, cuts.
Okay.
So there's a lot of stitching. The doctor.
Okay.
Burn wounds, because they cook the fire over open flames and hot water. So babies would come in with burn wounds, and people would come in with flame wounds, open wounds, and also they are very poor. So people do go and have some fun at the shebeen, and then there are quarrels, and they sort it out with sticks and knives and all those things.
But you don't really compete with the clinic that's further up the road?
No, not really. We have a really good relationship between us with the TB programs that we run, the outreaches that we run, COVID jabs and things that we do. So we are lucky to have vehicles. Sometimes they don't have vehicles. So they would ask us, and then we would go into the
communities with them.
Yeah.
So you don't only sort of do people who come here, but you actually go out and assist the people out there as well.
Yes, we have 4 outreach sites in the area. So from Jacob's Farm to Ochiarwa, Post 13. Those the furthest one is 120 kilometers.
Wow. Okay.
So every Wednesday we have outreach boxes. So we take the outreach boxes, we phone the people ahead and tell them, okay, yes, this week is your turn, we are coming to that area, and then the people can come to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how far up north do you go?
We only once we went to Ice, but that's a bit far, and the road is not that.
Yeah. How far is Ice from here?
168 kilometers.
Okay, so from there to Gum, it's really just another 80 kilos or so.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's really all around the pot. And tell me maybe just a bit about the history of the clinic. How did it come to be, or whose idea was it? I suppose it was Marlies, or how did it work?
Dr. William Marlies.
Okay.
Marlies was at that stage still at Harnas. And
so it was actually Rudy van Vieren who started.
Yeah, Dr. Rudy van Vieren. There was a baby that was ill. and they asked Dr. Rudy to come and have a look at the baby. At that stage, this buildings was here, and they were owned by Clarewell Holdings, but Dr. Rudy came, and he saw the kid, and he phoned for an ambulance. But the ambulance didn't come, and later on he took the baby himself to the hospital.
Okay.
But unfortunately the baby died. And then they saw that there was a very big need. And Dr. Rudy then saw this place, and he partnered up with Jan Verburg, and they bought these premises from Clarewell Holdings, and that's how it started. And then in the beginning, Rudy and his colleagues would come weekends.
Oh, okay. So it was really a voluntary thing from the start.
Yes,
already.
yes.
Very nice history, actually. And tell me, how many people do you sort of help in a week on average base?
It's strange that I had to work it out this morning. We've seen this year, from January up to date, we've seen 3,200 patients.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's all on a voluntary basis. It's really free of charge to the largest degree, except where the medication comes in.
Their medication is free. Their consultations is free for the Bushmen.
Okay.
So everything is free for them. And then also on a Tuesday and a Thursday, we have a soup kitchen or a feeding session.
Okay.
So I just also worked out today that we fed 9,212 meals for the year.
So that's quite a lot. But tell me, the main focus is on the San people, in other words, the Bushmen?
Yes, the main focus are on them because they are the most marginalized. That's why it's free for them. But we don't turn away anybody. So if there's somebody that in need of a doctor, they can come, and the doctor will see them.
Okay.
And if the medicines is need be, that she will give it to them. And
okay. Oh, good stuff. Thank you for the interview.
My pleasure.
Okay. See you around. I don't think we always realize how people out there do a lot of good and don't even advertise it that big. If it hadn't been for me phoning the people at Nkuse to actually ask them whether I can stay at Hanas as I try and introduce this new route to all of you, and obviously I enjoyed going up there because really it was good roads all along the way right up to Gam, and as you go from Gam on to Tsumkwe. So, but anyway, and these are far-flung posts, and I was so impressed to see that. Actually, if you looked right in the beginning of, before the video started, those photos were obviously of the clinic inside, and then right at the front, you maybe remember the one photo with a little type of shack with a fire there and a big pot. That was their soup kitchen. The people actually cook over that fire and then dish out meals, and sometimes they obviously sell them as well, but on soup kitchen days, they dish it out for free. So very impressive, and I really have to congratulate them for all that effort. And yeah, what should I say? You saw the video, make up your own mind. And actually, Harders told me that if people want to support it financially, they're more than welcome to do so, because as you could hear there, it's all on a voluntary basis. And so what they get, they appreciate. It's just one of those things. And yes, it's not a direct tourism theme, but I think seeing that in this case, you find that the Nkuse Foundation does well through its efforts and earnings through tourism. I thought it was well worth our while to just have a look at it and maybe support them in a small way. I hope you enjoyed this. This is the end of our show for today. See you next week, same time. And just remember that we've still got 2 editions to run, but then we close for the Christmas season. Simply because, number one, we too want to go and leave every now and then, and number two, it really is not worth our while to as a publishing house to keep all this stuff open, especially now in COVID times, where we obviously also have to look at our little cents and make sure that we get through to the next season. And so I trust you will excuse it if we are not going to show any Tourismus Namibia show during the Christmas season leading up into January, but as from the second week in January, we'll start having the show once again. So anyway, it's not the end of it yet. For the rest of the year, we still have 2 remaining shows after this one, and I trust we'll still see each other. Until then, remain healthy, look after yourself, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.